3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading, in particular, mystery reading number 1071. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support as well as your presence during this reading. I do want to mention that for somebody watching this video, I feel that there is more power in having restraint especially when it comes to the information that you share. Be mindful of where and how you share this information as well. I saw the number 122 on the timer, which is a sign about change starting with you, and for some reason I was wanting to say the message of trust that everything happens for a reason. It feels like there is something that you went through or something that you are going through right now for a reason, an important reason. It feels like there are some important changes that you could make or are already making within yourself or in your life to help create positive change around you, and this is confirmation and support for and of that. Spiritually, I believe that you are very supported in your mission or effort to not only create more light within yourself and embrace the light that already exists within you, but to also create more light, more awareness, more hope in the world. Your voice does matter. Your story matters. Your experiences matter. And you don't need a massive crowd to know that. Even just one person having a positive impact, in my opinion, or one person being positively impacted by you, in my opinion, it matters. Because then that person might go on and impact other people. Like a chain reaction, the domino effect, the ripple effect, whatever you want to call it, or acknowledge it as. It really is important to be mindful and aware of how you impact those around you because of how those people will go and impact people around them. I just saw the number 333 on the timer. That number is about communication, self-expression, literally using your voice. That feels like confirmation here that your voice does actually matter. This number is also about healing and growing and making a commitment, and this commitment could be to your own healing, your own spiritual growth, or something else, or both. Only take it however it resonates. Moving into interpreting number 1071, there are two ones in this number, which is about trusting yourself and believing in yourself. It feels like the messages of the number 1 are surrounding the messages of the number 0 and the number 2. So I'm going to go ahead and get into those. The number 0 can be about, for somebody here, there might be positive signs, maybe even a positive pregnancy test. It doesn't have to be that, but it could be positive signs. The number 0 is about recurring themes or patterns in the form of signs or messages or some sort of spiritual communication, or even just through more practical means, through your own experiences Whatever patterns or themes you are noticing, trust yourself and believe in your ability to keep noticing them. And whatever you don't notice, well, I wouldn't worry about that. Because one way or another, I believe that there are certain things that we are meant to see and certain things we aren't meant to see. So pay attention to what you notice. Because you in particular notice it for a reason. The number 0 can also be a reminder or confirmation to know when to put yourself, the relationship with yourself, the journey with yourself first before the relationship with anyone or anything else outside of yourself. If you feel called to put yourself first in some way, with your highest well-being in mind, your future, trust yourself. I just saw the number 555 on the timer. That's about change, transformation, transition. You might be going through some changes before and after you stand up for yourself. I mean, we're always going through changes, but I mean changes directly related to you standing up to yourself, for yourself, or maybe even to yourself. Sometimes we do have to stand up to ourselves and our shadow from overpowering us, from the darkness within ourselves overpowering us. Really never forget and have trust and faith in the light within yourself and how you express yourself, how you show up and spread this light. I always like to remind people in readings that the light that you are spreading on your own is contributing to a collective effort to spread light together. You could resonate with the idea of being a light worker. I am hearing a siren outside, which usually is a sign to really pay attention. Feels like there's a message here about paying attention to the impact of your own light, your own work. Moving on to the number 7. This number is about wisdom, expanding your awareness and your consciousness and finding deeper meaning. Trust and believe in the wisdom that you already have in your ability to become wiser. Trust and believe in your own awareness and how conscious you are in your ability to become more aware and conscious. In terms of finding deeper meaning, if you already have a meaning, don't even hesitate to trust it. Believe in it. If you don't, perhaps trusting and believing that it's there in the first place is what could be helpful to focus on, that there is deeper meaning behind your own awareness, your own wisdom, your own experiences, your own light. All because of how deeply connected every single one of us is or are. I'm not sure what the right word is there. But yeah, you will always have an impact on people, positive or negative. You might not be aware of it because you're relying on evidence rather than your own intuition. People aren't always going to tell you what kind of impact you have on them or how. You know? That's something that I liked to hear on my own journey. The idea of having an impact on others, even if I don't see it. You don't have to see it to know it. And now I'm thinking of that saying that believing is seeing. Have faith. Have faith. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 7 is 8, plus another 1 is 9, and the number 9 is about purpose. And helping the world release what no longer works. If you are feeling driven or called by the idea of being part of a much larger collective movement in terms of balancing the light and the dark in the world, this right here is definitely your confirmation, this reading, this video, coming across my channel. What you're doing really is much bigger, much deeper than you in your own inner worlds. As you can see, there are 2 decks of cards on the table and a box of cards right here. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. The light almost fell over. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. This is the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. And these are just cards that I made myself. And let me adjust this real quick because I keep thinking that this is sliding. I don't want to get distracted by it. Okay. I'm going to start with the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot to pull out 1 card to get more detail, more insight into what the messages, these messages related to these numbers are about. There could definitely be someone or something here that you gotta let go, or something within yourself that needs to be let go. Especially if you really do feel called to heal with a sense of purpose. Okay, so the card that I have is the Chariot. The Chariot has the number 7 on it, and we already talked about the number 7 being about your wisdom, your awareness, your consciousness, the deeper meaning behind it all. Yeah, that does just feel like it is confirmation to trust and believe in your awareness, your wisdom, and any sense of purpose that you already feel, or at the least that you feel called to seek and understand. In reverse, it says setbacks, lack of willpower, too focused on the details, remember main motive for goals. This is upright though, and I feel like this really tells me that you are definitely focused on the bigger picture, or this is a call for you to definitely get focused on the bigger picture. The Chariot for me in general is about your intuition being in the driver's seat instead of your fears. I feel that we want our fears to be in control when we genuinely need to be protected, because that's what they're here for, right? Rather than just, them having control just to limit us, our potential for anything. Maybe there is a specific fear or 2 here that are important for you to work through so you can gain more control over your own perspectives, feelings, belief system, and ultimately your decisions, your life, your reality. I just saw the number 333 on the timer because I just started recording the second segment of this video. Very interesting that we have seen that twice. So it's very, very clear here. Use your voice, communicate, express yourself in however you feel called to express yourself, to share your story, to help you heal. Keep growing. And stay committed. Stay committed to using your voice, to making yourself heard, to spreading your light. I feel like there is something here, some sort of awareness that is important for you to help spread. Maybe some information, some ideas, something like that. You could not have access to certain things that you enjoy, and that can be very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. But I feel that the universe and your spirit guides want you to trust and believe that you do not have access to these things for a reason. The universe wants your focus to be elsewhere. And I just saw the number 456. Trust that everything happens for a reason. You do not have access to these things, maybe these people, for a reason. Wow, I love that I pulled this card. Even your ancestors are totally here for this. It says, teach and share. Instill, instruct, and educate. You have learned something, or you are learning something. There's something here that the universe wants you to teach, to share, to instill, instruct, educate. I mean, I don't really feel like there's much else to say about this card. I kind of want to read from the guidebook. So let me open that up right now. Okay. It says, Buddhism was introduced to the Tibet in the 7th century, where it developed in relative isolation. Over the centuries, the unique culture, identity, and language of the region became inseparably linked to the Tibetan Buddhism, where great emphasis is placed on the spiritual masters and teachers of Dharma. These teachers, called, looks like lamas, complete extensive study over many years to prepare for their role in providing healing, initiations, and ceremonies, and teaching their traditions, beliefs, insights, and wisdom. The Lamas monks, nuns also have the added responsibility of protecting and promoting Tibet's environment, language, and culture. There could be something specific here about being Muslim or a nun. Tibetan lamas and monks devote their lives to the study and practices of Buddhism. However, religious practice is part of daily life for most Tibetans. Many families throughout the ages have proudly sent a child to a monastery to be educated as a monk. The ancestor speaks, says, you are not alone. You may be questioning why you are here and what your true purpose is. This card has appeared to let you know that you are a natural teacher, and it is part of your life purpose. You don't need to be a school teacher or a child care worker. You can show people a new way of being or looking at the world. You may be teaching your children or grandchildren everyday things, or you may be encouraging a friend to try something new or different. Value the wisdom and skills you can pass on to others. How much this is aligning with everything I've been saying is kind of crazy to me. The divinatory meaning says, look at the ways you can incorporate teaching or mentoring into your life so that others may benefit. You have the ability to connect with people from all walks of life and show them the way. Try not to overthink this aspect of your purpose. You may already be teaching others without even realizing. What I said about having an impact on others, even if they don't tell you. Enjoy sharing your gifts with others. There's not really much to interpret there from the guidebook, so let me finish up this reading with drawing out a card here from these box of cards. I'm going to keep this one too. I think I put this back from the previous reading and I didn't realize that, I just pulled the same card. Basically, it says, you make me feel invincible, earthquake powerful. From the song Feel Invincible by Skillet. We also have the number 23 there. 2 plus 3 is 5. Change and transformation. And let's go ahead and get another one of these cards to complement this one. There's the 4, is it the 4 of Wands? I think it is the 4 of Wands. Yes. It says, I want to celebrate. There's a lot of powerful energy here in these cards. The number 4 here really confirms the presence of your ancestors and prioritizing stability, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. It does feel like what you could be learning literally is about stability. Maybe self-worth. There could be a person, a thing, a passion, a purpose that really does make you feel invincible, powerful, like I said in the previous reading. Don't lose sight of this passion, this inspiration, this sense of purpose. Given that this is a major arcana, this definitely is a powerful reading here. I mean, other than how perfectly things have aligned and the cards that I've pulled, the things that I've said. To kind of wrap up this reading, we talked about your intuition being in the driver's seat and control rather than your fears. You know, if you're not feeling genuinely in danger and it feels like your fear is just limiting you, let your intuition take control. Let yourself have courage and keep moving forward despite the fear, or allow yourself to change your perspective to release the fear, whether it's having more faith in yourself, what's possible. Do what works for you to make sure that fear does not stand in the way of this calling to teach and share, to create more stability within yourself and your life and in the world.